Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the H&N Race Hub, as we are really in the closing half of the regular season. Here are the points after Kansas. Hoy in first, 432 points. Bradley in second, 243. Goodwoods in third, 158. Lavish in fourth, 89. By Road in fifth, 80. Weethy in sixth, 59. Seventh is Blue Flags, 49. Eighth is KW, 43. And Woombo below the cut line right now. Ninth with 35. Humane in 10th with 25. Cody in 11th with 15. And 12th, Logan Aim. Here are the finishing results of the race. Hoy first, second is Bradley, third is Woombo, fourth is Lavish, Lavish. Fifth is Logan, who DNF'd from the race. And sixth is Cody, DNF from the race, and Cornette, who was disqualified. And Hoy got his fifth win of the season at Kansas. What a year it has been so far for him. Last season getting 11 wins in the regular season. Cornette was disqualified due to jumping the restart. Late in the race, there was a caution with about 4 to go. And, everyone's intentions are high. They all want to win. He went from the back to the lead and got about 2-second lead, and just did not all work out for him, unfortunately, but he was disqualified. Any opinions and any words for you, Ricky?
I mean, if you want to go for a race late, if you want to go for a win late in the race on a restart, you can't be making those types of mistakes. And from Wednesday night at Kansas, him and Hoy had one of the best cars, plus all the HMS cars and RCR cars had the best cars out there. Mostly the top two was Cornette and Hoy. Cornette was trying to go for his third straight win there. But yeah, if you want to go for a win late in the race like that, you can't be making those mistakes. Jumping the start and costing you a race win.
Alright, thank you, Ricky. And for the rest of the regular season, this is the remaining schedule. Bristol, Gateway, Talladega, Dover, and Indianapolis. Bristol will be tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in there. Gateway is next, and then we go restrictor plate racing at Talladega, short track racing again at Dover, and then Indianapolis. Ricky, do you feel like for the rest of this regular season can either hurt people or people will benefit from it with these short tracks?
Well, I mean, Bristol, anything can happen at Bristol. Let's look at the playoff standings right now, and who need a win, and who can get in on points, and who just need, drivers just need to be, the drivers above the cutoff line, they shouldn't have to worry about a win. They just need to put their head in the game and not make mistakes, to put them underneath the cutoff line, and then to make them have to get a win to get into the playoffs. But yeah, you got Bristol, Gateway, Talladega, Dover, and Indy. Bristol, that's going to be a crazy race. It always is. Gateway, last season it was pretty insane. A fuel mileage race. Talladega, always crazy. Dover, yeah, it's in the beginning it's crazy. Middle, kind of calms down in the end. It ramps back up, and then Indianapolis. You gotta be careful from staying. You have to stay away from that apron at all costs, because you don't know, going to one corner you hit that apron, you don't spin out. But the next time you do, that could really cost you a race. And late in a race, if you're going for a win under the cutoff, you can't be making those mistakes to cost you a race win and possibly a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking at the playoffs, look, these guys can make it in on points like Logan Aim, Cody, Humane, and Wombo. But KW, he's got to. When he shows up, he has to be racing up front. He can't be making mistakes like last season. He can't be caught creating rivals like last season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all about really being smart and, executing. Wherever you start, and then you finish. But we have not had a wide variety of new race winners this season. It's really just been the same people. Daytona 500 went to Hoy. Atlanta went to the now retired driver, Ricky. And then Martinsville went to Hoy. Texas went to Hoy. Las Vegas went to retired Chasing Flags. Richmond went to Hoy. Auto Club went to his first race in the league, Lavish. And then Kansas, obviously, went to Hoy. So not a very wide variety of new winning drivers. Do you feel like with a lot of new drivers, a lot of new rookies in the league, we will see more younger and talented drivers be able to come into the league and possibly, put Hoy on his butt finally and try to make him struggle?
Absolutely. Wombo, he was very strong at Kansas. Lavish, he was very strong. By road, he could be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley's, he's starting to make a comeback he's starting to be more consistent. Second in points, he's already having a better season than last season.
Yeah, by far.
Humane, he can mix up the fight because it's Humane. He doesn't care. Cody, he can mix up the fight, and Logan Ain, you gotta be careful about him. He probably had the fastest car at Kansas early in the race till he made that mistake. What was the mistake? Didn't he jump a restart? Or no. He hit someone under caution, I think.
He got into someone under yellow. He also jumped a restart, causing him to get a drive-through penalty, and then he got in a late race wreck, which caused him to have to unfortunately take it to the garage.
Yeah. Logan Aim, he had possibly one of the fastest cars. Probably he had a faster, in my opinion. He was able to stay ahead of Hoy and Cornette. But the thing with Hoy and Cornette's car from Kansas, they was good in the short run, but when you got into the long run with the tires falling off, that's when they started to fall off, and that's when Logan was passing him and contending for the lead. So I could see Logan, Wombo, Humane, and Byrode and Brady and Bradley and Lavish contending for wins, contending for the championship, and most doubtedly giving Hoy some more bigger competition.
Yep. And the people locked in the playoffs right now, pretty much the whole, first, second, and third, and points are practically locked in. We'll just have to see if Goodbuds gets the attendance to show up, and when he does show up, he does very good. So I would not be surprised if we are able to see a new winner once he shows up. And now we are going to move on to the recent driver signings through free agency. A lot of movements happened. Wombo was signed to the 9 car, to the Hendrick Motorsports, and the owners of the team are Cornette and the co-owner of the team, Hoy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Hoy, but Wombo, he doesn't have to, in my opinion, he has to fill some big shoes with Ricky retiring, because Ricky won the past 2 championships in that 9 car in Season 1, and the 18 car in Season 2, and then he came back to HMS this season, but then had a heavy crash at a heavy crash at Daytona going up and over, and that they gave him some concussion type symptoms, and that forced him to cut his career short and have to retire. I think Wombo was one of the best replacements for Ricky. That's a good move by HMS.
Hedrick Motorsports, Wumbo. We look to having a Wumbo in the future. Logan Aim, probably one of the biggest steals in free agency. Logan, who made his hot seat debut, really, and he impressed Hoy enough to sign him in 3-car in replacement of Chasing Flags. Chasing Flags retired mid-season due to competition because he couldn't keep up.
Yeah, I also think that's a better move. In my opinion, Logan is a better driver than Chasing, from what you saw from Kansas, Logan contending for the win, the lead, the whole entire race until he got that penalty. But even after he got that penalty, he came back after a caution, drove through the field, and still was contending for a lead. He was actually going for a lead when he got crashed by a misjudgment by Cornette. I think that is also a perfect signing from RCR and the owner Hoy.
Alright, going on to the next free agency signing. It was Weefy signed to the 29 to RCR. Weefy, who unfortunately was not able to race at Kansas because the signing was originally done after the race. This could go either way, really. We don't know anything about Weefy yet, but I guess Hoy decided to give him a shot, give him a try. But also Lavish was signed to the 78 car on RCR.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you again, Horn. But from what I saw from Weefy down in the Xfinity Series, I feel like he is going to be a great fit for that 29 car. Excuse me, I have to ask a question. Is Weefy running part-time or full-time?
Weefy, the 29 car is a part-time vehicle, but there is 5 races left in the regular season, meaning he can run the rest of the regular season, but he just has to miss 1 race for the rest of the season, because he can only do 4 races. But he gets, Honor Hoy said that he'll let him choose which races he wants to join in and what race to sit out. So that's all up to him.
I think what the owner Hoy is doing over RCR is rebuilding that team. I feel like later on this season or maybe next season, I think RCR is going to be back fighting for championships and for the top spot. Heck, I think they might be competing for the championship this season with Logan in that number 3 car.
And we're already talking about championship favorites. Hoy, who got his 5th win of the season, his 21st career win. What a successful career it's been in the past 3 seasons.
Most winningest driver in H&M. Still hasn't won a championship.
Yeah, he has yet to win a championship. He came so close these past 2 seasons. Season 1, he had to lead. Yellow flag came out with 2 to go, causing him to lose. Season 2, he had the car, he had everything. Ricky was so fast, and he got side by side with him and just included in late race wrecks with everybody's adrenaline going through the roof.
In the championship, Hoy had one of the fastest cars, but later in that race, Ricky finally got it figured out, but Hoy was still one of the fastest. But after Ricky got past, Hoy got caught up in traffic and couldn't get around his teammate Cornette, and that's kind of started a little feud over there. But then they got that settled out really quick.
Yeah. And 21 career wins so far. He's got probably one of the best drivers currently on the track. But we also have to talk about a lot of maturity issues on the track, how he handles issues. I mean, at Kansas he handled them fairly well, but
Yep.
as you see in the past, whenever he whenever somebody just takes him out, he is not afraid to come back and ruin their season, if not championship.
Like from last season to season before. If you ran into Hoy was not scared to retaliate. Hoy caused a lot of issues on track. Sometimes it was his fault, sometimes it wasn't. Hoy wasn't afraid to run his mouth to drivers and let them know that they can't be doing that, and don't poke the bear. Because if you poke the bear, something bad's about to happen to you. I haven't seen much of that from Hoy this year. Hoy ain't pushing it like he was last season. He's being more patient, and I feel like this season will be his season to win that championship, because I haven't seen a lot of maturity from Hoy this season.
All right. And who is this season's playoff favorite? This is a really question that's mixing everyone around. And from some votes from people around the league, I DM'd them, and some people are saying it's actually Hoy. So I guess this is your opinion, Ricky. Who is this season playoff favorite?
I feel like Hoy, with all those wins, all those playoff points, in the playoffs, he's going to have a big lead over the cutoff. But just like real life, like how Chase Elliott was this past season in real life, he had all those playoff points, but in the beginning of each round, he made mistakes. Some wasn't his fault, some was his. And a lot that season, a lot in the playoffs, in the real life NASCAR Cup Series, when Chase Elliott made those mistakes, he was on the bubble to get eliminated. Like the round of 16, a regular season champion. First race at Darlington, DNF. And he's on the cutoff there. But and then round of 12, same thing. In the round of 8, same thing. And then, but also you got to look at Kyle Busch from the past season in real life. I'm sorry I'm bringing up real lifeness, but it's somewhat true. You have to be consistent. You can't be DNF in every race. You have to be very consistent. You don't have to you don't have to win each race. You just can't be making mistakes and hurting yourself in the playoffs and being on the bubble. Because one other mistake or one new winner, right when you're on the last spot in the playoffs, one new winner that can knock you out right there. Hoy, I know he could be very consistent, but I also know he can make mistakes. He makes very rarely mistakes, but I know he could do it. He just has to be more consistent. He can't fall back on all those playoff points.
Yeah, I completely agree, but let's slow it down a little bit. Go back to the point standings, and who really in the playoffs? Who here could really be the upset that can somehow, just absolutely be his kryptonite and really just lay him back a little bit and take it all away from him without him even realizing it?
I got a few. I got Bradley. He could be an upset. He's been very consistent. More consistent than last season. He's kind of come back to a season 1 form. I think if Goodbud shows up, he can upset too. But like I said, my two main favorites, if Hoy don't win, my two main favorites are Wumbo or Logan.
Yeah.
From what I saw at Kansas, I feel like they could upset. But first, they got to make it into the playoffs first, but they got a lot of time.
Yep.
And I think a lot of good tracks for them to do that.
But truly, if you can think about the turnaround of Bradley, he didn't even make the playoffs last season. He just barely missed it. He missed it, and he was definitely a little bummed about it. the whole Hendrick Motorsports organization, they've done a very good job by trying to keep their drivers up and really just keeping them happy and wanting them to go back in a race car next season.
Yep. And I'm throwing it back to last year. Hoy really couldn't focus on about race wins, because earlier in that season, Hoy was having the worst of luck, and I had the best of luck. Ricky. Hoy had the worst of luck. Ricky had the best of luck. But then there was rumors going around that Ricky and Hoy was not happy with their team owner at all, and they was thinking about leaving the team. Ricky thought Hoy was going to go with him to Roush, but no, Hoy went to HMS and Ricky went to Joe Gibbs. It took a little bit for Ricky to get the Joe Gibbs equipment under his feet, but right when Hoy made that move to HMS, he was bombs out the rest of the season. And I think Hoy doesn't have to worry about any contracts or anything. He knows where he's going to be this season, next season, the season after. Probably the season after. Hoy doesn't have to worry about that. Hoy can only now worry about the championship and race wins and points.
Yeah, I think Hoy he's definitely in a happy place. It's like when you switch to Hendrick Motorsports, something just exploded in his performance. And
I'll go back. Sorry. Talk.
That's all.
But also, with Ricky going to JJR last season, took a little bit for him to get all that team under his feet. I want to say last season, season 1, Bradley was in the 3-car. He was perfect, consistent, and everything. I think him going to a completely different team, a completely different ran organization in HMS, that sophomore slump, I feel like that kind of hurt him last season. But now, since he got one season under his feet at HMS, I think that's why he's doing completely better. He's used to that equipment now, and he knows where he's probably going to be next season. I don't know if he got re-signed for next season. I don't know. I'll get into that, but I feel like Bradley is completely locked in HMS, and I feel like Bradley wants to stay at HMS for the rest of his career, or as long as he can.
Yeah. And then, someone who, really unexpectedly just left was you, Ricky. You obviously you didn't have your season really wasn't going the way you wanted it to. Yes, you got your last career win at Atlanta and all, but the race did not go the way you wanted it to at all. You had bad luck the whole time, but we just want to thank you for putting all that time and effort into the league. And now you're in the booth broadcasting. How do you feel about your retirement? And do you feel like you would ever come back?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Maybe running a full-time season or part-time season in Xfinity. But I'm also been looking at maybe in a couple of seasons during part-time Cup or full-time with my own team, Trackhouse.
Yeah. All right.
But, in my opinion, the only reason I got out of Cup, retired, is because last season I flipped at Daytona into the catch fence. That didn't feel really good. And this season I flipped again at Daytona. That didn't feel really good either. And I just didn't want to put myself in a position to get hurt. But yeah.
All right. Now, going back to the playoff favorites. If, let's say, in the second round of the playoffs, Hoy just completely blows it, who could be the one that can really win it all? Because right now, no one here is guaranteed to go to the Final Four. Not one person.
And also, those points reset each round.
Yeah, they only get bonus points.
Yep.
From winning.
Remember, Hoy has a lot of playoff points to fall back on, but you can only fall back on them so much. You can only make mistakes so much till it just completely blows your season, and you're out of the playoffs. But like I was saying, if Hoyt gets eliminated in the playoffs, I feel like Logan or Wombo, or maybe and Bradley, and maybe, just maybe, Leafy can get the championship.
Yep. And let's go back to the finishes. To this, the consistency from Logan and Cody. Cody, he cannot keep DNFing. He will not make the playoffs. Cornette obviously retired. He only came back for Kansas. He wanted to win his 3 times in a row at Kansas, and he unfortunately just sold. But Logan, he cannot keep DNFing. Cody cannot keep DNFing. If they were in the playoffs, they cannot keep DNFing, finishing bad, and putting themselves in positions to DNF.
Yep. But, yeah, Cody needs to turn that season around if he wants to fight for a playoff spot. He doesn't have to win. He just needs to stop making mistakes so he can make the playoffs. Because if I'm completely sure if he keeps making these mistakes, he will be eliminated from playoff contention before the playoff season starts. So,
yeah. And the rest of the remaining regular season schedule, tune in tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern at Bristol Motor Speedway, where the crowd roars and the back bumper goes to the floor.
Hold up, boy. We gotta finish this out. Who's your race picks for Bristol?
Well, I really I'm not trying to be biased here, but past few years, Hoy and one other driver, Cornette, but Cornette's not there anymore. So Hoy and Cornette have been dominating at Bristol Motor Speedway. They've been head-to-head every single time. I'm either have to go Hoy winning it or Bradley. Bradley would do anything for that win. He is aggressive for the win. I'm going Bradley.
Yep, I completely agree. But my race picks are either Hoy, Wombo, or Logan. I'm not completely sold on them two yet. I just need to see I want to see them race more. I need to see them race more just before I'm completely sold on them. But those are my race picks.
Yeah. Really, do you have... Okay, so you're obviously going to be in the booth.
Yeah.
Whenever you're watching close pack racing, and how different is it versus on the track or versus up in the booth?
Well,
obviously you're more relaxed, but
on track, at Bristol, you have to be on your feet a lot more. You can't be caught snoozing. You can't be caught napping. You could barely even blink at Bristol because everything comes so... Yes, Bristol's such a short track. But that's a very fast short track, okay?
Yeah.
And one mistake from a driver, if someone getting wrecked right in front of you, you have to be ready for it. And sometimes there's nowhere to go on the track. 1 minute you could be fine, 1 minute you could be into the inside wall. Like looking back at Martin Truex Jr. from 2018 when he made contact with Kyle Busch late in that race. He didn't know he was going to get turned. right out of that corner, he got turned to the inside wall. That caught him by surprise. And also, one thing, and the difference from being on track and up in the booth, you don't have to worry about getting in a fight or wrecking anybody or wrecking yourself.
Yeah. And last bit of news. We have a new driver, new team owner named NASCAR Fan 12. He's going to own Team Penske. This announcement was made a few weeks ago. He's going to own Team Penske and drive the 12 car. He will be at Bristol tomorrow night for his H&N debut. We will see how everything goes, and let's hope everything goes well for him.
Yep.
And anything else to say, Ricky, before we go?
Well, tomorrow night, 9:30, I think that's the race time.
Yep.
Or 10. You get your popcorn ready, and join us for the pre-race show on H&N TV for all the updates before the race. Yeah, but make sure you tune in for that race for an interesting race at Bristol. That should be a fun one. Boy, are you excited for that race?
Hell no. I just want to get it over with, move on. But yeah. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the Bristol Motor Speedway. The crowd roars, panels and bumpers to the floor. Quite literally, unfortunately.
And the race name for tomorrow will be the title for tomorrow's race will be H&N at Bristol for it's just short track racing 250.
Alright, see you guys tomorrow. H&N, we're out.